Hello and welcome back to Foodinati UK, and this week on Foodinati UK we've got a genuine UK thrash metal legend, H from Acid Rain, who's joining us, and we're taking him to Major Tom's Social in Harrogate for a pizza and a pronunciation lesson in how to say "nduya." And welcome back to Foodinati UK, and look who I'm sat with. It's only H from Acid Rain.
Hello.
And we're here with one of Major Tom's pizzas. What we got here? Do you remember?
I think it's Naja. Naja, is it Naja? Naja, Nuji.
Nuja.
Yeah.
We might have
Chilli.
all the stuff.
I think that's the chili, and that's the pepperoni, and this is the rocket.
So there we go.
There's some extra chilies in there in case you didn't already have enough chilies.
So we'll give that a little taste.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I'm glad we're doing this now.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I couldn't answer any questions with an empty stomach.
Oh, that is good. Nice and spicy.
Can't beat a bit of rocket.
Now, you were telling me you'd experienced from the sauce, haven't you? You've had it proper Italian pizza.
Well, I've spent a lot of time in Milan. About 8 years, probably about 8 years in a row. I used to go to Milan every January. And so, for me, the reason why we can't replicate Italian pizza, I mean, this is lovely, but the reason we can't replicate Italian pizza is because our tomatoes aren't kissed by the Mediterranean sun that morning.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely climate.
I mean, I actually, for my mum and dad, for their wedding anniversary, they went with me and my then girlfriend to Milan for a wedding anniversary. And like, my mother just couldn't believe, not the biggest fan of pizza, but couldn't believe that, like, she loved pizza. It's just, I mean, bruschetta. You know, it's like with the right tomatoes, a little bit, the right, you know, and it's all being cooked in the corner of the, you know.
Well, even the buffalo mozzarella as well. It's because of the climate, you get a certain type of cow apparently up there that gives you that amazing mozzarella as well. So it's the perfect storm of all those elements to bring the perfect pizza. And of course, like all good things in the world, it was poverty food. Most of the best.
Yeah. Absolutely,
in the world have been born out of necessity.
Well, on that, Milan is famous for its seafood risotto.
Yes, of course.
And it's nowhere near the fucking sea.
Yes, absolutely.
Am I okay to fucking swear?
Oh, yes, he is.
Oh, fucking great. So that's what they're famous for, the seafood risotto, because during the war, all they had was tinned fish.
Yes.
So that's where the seafood risotto comes from.
Absolutely. You can trace a lot of the world's biggest dishes back to poverty. Make do, basically. And I'll be covering that on a different episode. We won't go too far down that.
I'll make sure I tune in on that one.
Talking of breaks away, you've just got Bloodstock.
I love, beautifully done, mate. Beautifully.
I've been impressed.
This is only episode 2.
This is episode 2.
You're a fucking natural.
So, you just got back from Bloodstock.
Yes. Yeah.
Was it business or pleasure?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. It's both. It was both. So, funnily enough, one of the members of Acid Rain, because we were all there, one of the members said, like, I've hardly seen you. I've maybe seen you twice the whole weekend. You're always all over the place. Just like, chill out. And I was like, why are you here? And he's like, well, see some bands, get pissed. That's about it, really. I was like, great. I'm here to network.
Yeah.
I'm here to see people who I work with, like, all year round, and this is the one chance I get to see them.
Sure.
So I'm looking for those people, and then I'm also looking how many times I said to people on the podcast, hey, you're playing Bloodstock, see you there.
Yeah.
So I want to deliver on that.
Yeah.
Not that they give a shit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, catch up with Phil Demmel, catch up with Sean Killian.
Yeah.
Catch up with Alan Hungerford. And also, it's about saying hello to those people and like, oh, yeah, cool. But it's also about speaking to people I've never had on the podcast, like Randy Bly and Rob Flynn, and say, want to come on?
Yeah.
And so there's all of that going on.
Yeah.
I saw Mark Wilkinson again as well, and it was lovely to catch up with him. Cy Keeler as well, who's going to be coming on the podcast, talking onslaught.
Yeah.
So it's all, you know, literally, it's plate spinning for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved it.
Yes.
But I saw, the only band I saw the whole set of was Violence.
Cool.
And I saw 2 songs of Merciful Fate and 3 songs of Heathen, and that's all the bands I saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was it. Because I'm there to, you know, as well as hey, look, we're all grifters, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's self-employed. When you're self-employed, you're never on holiday.
Nope.
And you're never off.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, and that suits me because I'm never off anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that is a very long answer to a very short question.
Talking about never being off, of course, you've got your side hustle, which is comedy as well. How's that going at the moment?
Okay, well, just to pick you up there, that's my main hustle.
Oh,
that's my main hustle. Right. Bearing in mind that I've been a stand-up comedian for 21 years. So I've done way more comedy gigs than I have music gigs.
Right.
But the thing is that because Acid Rain is the thing it is, and that's what I'm best known for.
Yeah.
Then people think that I'm doing that all the time and everything else is a side hustle, where actually it's probably the other way around. So I do all the other things, and like Acid Rain pops in here and there, you know.
I probably only think that because I've seen Acid Rain 4 times and I haven't seen you do comedy yet.
Well,
that's my fault.
Well, no, but that's that. But don't worry, mate. Loads of people don't see me do comedy, but it's. I mean, I absolutely love it. I mean, I'm doing more now at the moment than I have done for a long time because obviously we had lockdown.
Yes.
But I'm absolutely love it. I mean, I do a character called Keith Platt, professional Yorkshireman. So I mean, you know, I wonder where that comes from.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've got a couple of comedy students as well, which sounds a bit wanky, but whatever. I you know, what can I say? I could talk about comedy for the rest of the podcast, but I've got a funny feeling that's not what you're after.
Well, I have to talk about the other thing, Acid Rain, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Have we got new material on the way?
No. Don't get me wrong. Well, basically, we had to. By the way, this is really annoying when you're listening to people eat. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Audio podcasters, video podcasters. This is lovely. We just had to change a member of the band out. We just had to, well,
of course.
Yeah, and that basically sets everything back.
Because Age of Entitlement came out
2019,
and then you had lockdown in the middle. So
the Age of Entitlement World Tour was 4 gigs,
right,
and everything else that was planned, and there was a world tour planned.
Wow.
And it all went in the bin.
Yeah.
And we have just had the promoter come back to us 2 years later to say we've got a huge 12-date South American Age of Entitlement tour booked. So
wicked.
Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and a load of shows in Mexico as well.
And of course,
which is North America. Yeah, I know that. All right, don't at me.
And is this your first time in South America? Because
Yes.
I've heard stories about South America being the most raucous crowds you can get.
Yes, but also the most difficult sort of part of the world to play. We have probably been offered, I would say, we're in double figures of South American tours we've been on.
Right.
And we're in double figures of South American tours we've turned down, because we're in double figures of South American promoters who've approached us and, you know, we did this tour with these people, we did this tour with these people, we did this tour with these people. So you do your due diligence and they've never heard of them.
Right.
And, you know, bless them, for some reason they think we're not going to check.
Yeah.
And as our old international agent once said to me, he's German, and he said to me, Howard, the problem with South America, everybody lies. That was it, really.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, casually racist, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But, you know, he's German. Oh, look, that 2 bits of casual racism at once.
Covering all base.
So there you go. Yeah, I've just been cancelled. You probably don't want to listen. Probably shouldn't watch or listen to the rest of this.
I can't be any worse than what Metallica are going through. So here we are, both a couple of Yorkshire lads who no longer live in Yorkshire. Well, in Harrogate, anyway.
Yeah.
You're living in London now, isn't it?
I've been living in London for 26 years.
Yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah. I've lived in London longer than I've lived in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
But I love coming back. And
Yeah.
I think if you'd asked me even 5 or 6 years ago, you know, would you ever come back? The answer would be no.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, but if I move back here, that's the end of the band.
Yeah.
So I won't be making, if I do make the move, it's not a given, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But if I do make the move back here, it will be after the band has retired.
Because what our viewers might not know is Harrogate, this town we're sat in, is where Acid Rain were originally from. And this is why I'm so acutely know about Acid Rain, is because they were the band that were tipped for the top when I was growing up. Around that in 1985 when I just discovered thrash metal. I just heard Anthrax and I just heard DRI, and then there's one on my doorstep.
Oh, that's that. Yeah. Well, it's funny. You should say that, because I was having this conversation last night, and let's talk about inclusivity, okay? And because it's a hot topic, you know. But this is YouTube, and this might be 5 or 6 years' time, and they're like, it's not a hot topic. Well, we didn't know. You're in the future. Fuck you. But inclusivity, and if you can see it, you can be it. And there's a lot of people our age who think this is all bullshit and everybody's it's all being forced on me. And yet, I know for a fact, because a couple of people have come up to me over the years and said, we were really at the thrash, it was great, brilliant, and then you lot came out, the only British band on Music for Nations, on Under One Flag, and we're like, hey, maybe we could do that.
You could have a crack.
Maybe we could form a band.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was back in 1988. So inclusivity, and you can see it, you can be it. It's nothing new.
No,
it's really nothing new. But it's worth bearing in mind the next time you moan about something that's not worth moaning about.
Yeah, dead right. I mean, certainly, I remember around about the time The Fear came out, certainly, there were my mates' bands like Nihilist, and I was in a band called FAT, and we were...
I'll call it what it is. It was called FAT.
No, we were FAT, stood for Fuck All Talent.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't my idea. But yes, so I was absolutely enamoured with thrash in all its forms. I mean, Anthrax was my go-to band. I rated them above Slayer or Metallica. I know that's a really controversial thing to say, because everyone says Slayer. No, Anthrax was mine. And Acid Rain were the closest to that sound I saw in the UK. You were more like an Anthrax or a DRI, or, you know, a Sacred Reich. Those kind of bands. Rather than Metallica's sort of more heavy metal leanings, you were the more hardcore leaning, you know.
We were hardcore leaning, and we had those kind of like, well, I'm told now, we had those socially aware lyrics. And we weren't tossing it off.
Yeah.
Yes, we had we were a fun band.
Yeah,
not a joke band, not a comedy band, a fun band.
Yeah,
There's nothing funny about Thoughtful Sleep, an 8-minute song about childhood suicide.
Absolutely.
Ha 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 ha. You know, this is why it always does my head in when we get lumped in with Lawnmower Down.
I know, like, totally different.
I don't get it, but hey, whatever. And it pisses Acid Rain fans off as well.
Yeah.
But I think I think that's definitely a thing. And funnily enough, when we put the last album out, The Age of Entitlement, one review referred to me as a social commentator, and I was thinking, most of the songs on that album are just about mental health.
Yeah,
It's like, but okay, I mean, I'll take the honour. I'll take the honour, but you know, you're always told what your songs mean by other people because songs mean different things to different people.
Sure.
But my favourite one was when an American on YouTube had a go at us for the song United Hates,
Right.
without ever hearing it or reading the lyrics.
Yeah.
And a review said, no prizes for guessing what that's about. Well, I'll give you a clue. It's not about anything that's united. It's not about hate. It's nothing to do with the USA or politics or the UK or politics.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, exactly. But no, you saw the title, you went with it.
That just reminds me of all those Trump supporters when they finally found out what Rage Against the Machine were actually singing about. Oh, really? Was that? I just thought, I just like the fuck you all and do what you tell me bit. That was the bit I liked.
Yeah.
I realised there was a whole social aspect to it.
Oh man, we could do a whole hour on Mango Mussolini. We really could, but you know, fucking no.
And on that note, I think, unless you've got anything else you'd like to say?
Oh God, you shouldn't say that. We'll be here for another hour. No, well, firstly, I think it's a great idea, this podcast.
Thank you very much.
Really good idea.
Yeah,
although it's really interfered with me eating this pizza.
Well, we could get you doggy bag.
yeah. And the thing is, I've got a mic clip really. I'd like to apologise to everybody watching and listening. I'd like to apologise for the noise of me eating. Because there's probably nothing worse. Do you know what it's like? So somebody rings you up and you're like, "Are you eating?"
I thought
and it's like, "Yeah." It's like, you fucking finish eating and then you ring me, you cheeky bastard.
Maybe we should eat the food before we start the interview.
It's always, I don't know.
We're learning on camera.
Yeah. Hey, look, go back and listen to the early episodes of Talking Bollocks. I'm fucking shit. You're way better than I was back then.
Oh, that's about the confidence I could do with. Yeah, there we go. You heard it here first.
Absolutely. And come check this really cool place out.
Yes,
as well.
Mates Tom's Harrogate.
Yeah.
Wonderful pizzas, wonderful beers, wonderful surroundings, and they give you a room to do interviews in if you ask nicely.
Lovely pizza, lovely beer.
So big
what
thanks
more do you
to Major Tom's Harrogate, down the Ginnell in Harrogate, across from the old Debenhams. You know where that is.
That's awesome, mate. Thank you.
Fix it in the edit.